Hey, Elite BSC, it's Jordan and Jeff here again. So I wanted to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about what we're doing at Elite BSC, maybe give you an update. And one of the things that's important to us is that you know everything that we're doing for you guys so that you're getting the maximum benefit that you can possibly get from the group. So just giving you maybe an update about things that are going on, happenings, things that we can do for you guys, that sort of thing, services that we're offering, and some cool stuff that we have coming up that I think we're gonna be doing. So I mean, our goal and our mission for Elite is that we help business owners, small to mid-sized companies in our industry, and ideally that's people from 500K to 10, 15 million, right? Help you succeed, like help you to build a business that is profitable and allows you to have freedom as an owner, and it's serving well, it's taking care of your team members well. Like it sounds really lofty, but like kind of want to change the industry and help small business owners in the process to do that. And so one of the things I told this, we had a sales workshop a few weeks ago, and I talked a little bit about the story behind Elite. And what's really is interesting, I had gotten to a point where I wasn't working very much in the janitorial business, and it was for good reasons, because the company was running really well and there was people in leadership. And so I tried to start an Amazon business. I was bored looking for some entrepreneurial endeavors. And I signed up for this mastermind group that was promising all this stuff, and it was going to teach you how to sell on Amazon and everything. Paid a bunch of money to be involved in it, and the whole thing was just a sham. Like it was poorly executed. The content was not very good. But I did learn a few things in sort of my overall research about the online world and marketing and that sort of thing. And so it just prompted the idea of, man, no one's doing education like this in our industry. No one's helping companies in our industry like this. And if you look at what's happening in the online world, so much of there's peer groups and mastermind groups and all this stuff going on where like-minded people are getting together and learning, and there's someone sort of leading that effort. And so Elite was born out of that reality. So, Jeff, maybe let's shift gears a little bit and let's start talking about what we're doing for our existing members. So we have 150-ish members in our group, and these are all owners or key leaders of janitorial companies that are in that small to mid-sized range.
That's right.
They're not startups. They're established commercial janitorial companies. What are we doing for those members that's sort of part of their membership?
Yeah. So I'll go through a few things, and the first is just resources. We might be able to come up with a better name than that, but it's just resources that are available, and we've redesigned that area. All the resources that we're creating and have created are on Basecamp in a section called Member Resources. And so if you click on that, it opens up, and we've got resources based on or in each section of what would be going on in your company. So for instance, we've got a section for business growth, we've got a section for human resources and operations, and then we've got also a folder, if you will, for just owner topics. And right now what we've got is all of the videos that we do here, and any videos that you've done in the past, we've made those videos available and put them in their specific places. And so all that content's out there. Bethan and I have been working on primarily just business growth resources. We'll continue to put those on there, and then we'll slide over and we'll start working on HR stuff and then operations.
And so we'll be adding anything we can add this. So we'll have all the video content, but then also documents, forms, files, PDFs of things, one-pagers, whatever. Anything we can add that's like, here's stuff you could use.
That's right.
Or use as a model. We want to put that on there in the resources section. That's on Basecamp.
Yeah, that's right. And so, for instance, we've got one of the resources we just kind of finalized or just put together was a cold call framework. And so we hope that that's helpful to you as members, that you can use that as a training tool if you bring on somebody to do cold calling. And so the member resources are there. Also, we've got all of the podcasts that you've been doing. Those are all posted out there. So again, just a hopefully a treasure trove full of resources that you can use and share with your team. The next thing that I'll be working on soon is a member directory. Now, we sent out a survey, had some limited response, I think mostly because in typical Jeff Carmen fashion, I put too much information and ask too much. And so we'll be refining that and sending that back out, and then I'll be making telephone calls out to kind of gather that information. And here's the goal. The goal is to connect members. So, for instance, there's a member who is transitioning from over to a subcontractor model. So they currently have everybody's employed by them, and they're moving over to a subcontractor model. Well, I happen to know another company that's a lot further down the road, and connected them, and that made all the difference in the world to this fellow who's making the change. And so we want to do those kinds of things. We want to be able to connect people who are maybe using the same CRM or using WinTeam, and or at a different level. So you maybe find a mentor. So that member directory is going to be really important as a tool to help folks get connected with I guess, like needs.
Okay.
The third thing is a benchmark survey. Now, in previous life and work that I've done in both the natural gas business and in medical practice management, man, the benchmarking information was super helpful to me. That I could compare our business to other business operationally. And so I'll be putting together that survey and sending that out as well. Same thing, I'll send it out as a survey, but then I'll just follow up with calls. I think that'll be a real helpful resource. And then lastly is monthly meetings. So we had our first meeting, and I don't call it a webinar, because a webinar is one of those things where you're just presenting information and nobody's live. And so we're going to try to have a member meeting each month. I'm working on some content right now, and I'll roll that out the 1st of July, so I'll send an update. But that'll be something that we'll do on an every month basis.
Maybe delivering some content, and then a lot of Q&A time.
That's right. That's right.
They come loaded with your questions, or maybe submit your questions before, and that sort of thing.
That's right. Yeah, we had a nice turnout for that meeting and had some positive feedback. We had not so positive feedback on how I handled the Zoom call, but I'm learning, and so hopefully that'll be better.
So then maybe a couple other things that we're doing, maybe in addition. So that's the stuff we're doing with the group that sort of comes with being a part of the group.
Yeah.
We're doing a couple of additional things that I'm involved in. So the first one is marketing services. So we currently are working for 15, 16 different members of the group doing marketing work. So most everyone has come to a sales workshop and they're like, hey, this is really cool. We need to be building a prospect list and we need to be nurturing and all that stuff. Creating content. Yeah. So, but we don't have time to do it. And so we started doing that work for group members. That are wanting some help with that. And so we do build prospect lists, and we write content, and we nurture and do email campaigns and that sort of thing for them. So that's one of the things that we've been spending a lot of time on. And then CleanTrainU is a piece of software that we've been working on for quite some time to help with training in the industry. It's more of an operational focused tool. And we have someone on our team, his name is Ben Hoke, who just joined us about a month ago, who has extensive experience in developing content and other things for another business, a very similar business in a different industry. And yeah, he's full-time running with CleanTrainU, and so that is rolling out, and it's the development of the platform has sort of reached a spot that's really good, and it's starting to be really usable. And so that's something else. All of these ideally are resources that are helping you be better at what you currently do. So Jeff, and I know you're working on something as well, a training.
Yep. Yeah. One of the things that I've discovered just in interacting with you guys as members, and even in France, the idea that the field leaders, and when I say field leaders, we'll call them, account managers, what we used to call them project managers and
area supervisors, area managers. Right.
Is there's nothing that's like kind of grassroots based training to help a field manager or your group of field managers have a consistent training. And so I'm working on this, and I've talked about it for a bit, and it's taken a little longer to write the curriculum, but it'll be a 8-week course that'll be delivered every week over 8 weeks, same time each week. And the content will be, or each class will be about an hour to an hour and a half long. It'll be live, so we'll have a limited number of people in each class. So it'll be 15 to 20 people. and I'll deliver content. I'll create a workbook that'll go along with that. But I think that'll be I think that will be very helpful to the group because, I hear a good amount of that feedback like, hey, we need some way to train our leaders.
Yeah. Because when we have workshop, like your field leaders are so critical to what you do. And so almost no one can afford to say, hey, I'm sending all my field leaders to a 3-day training. Because that means no one's covering the jobs for 3 days. Right.
That's right.
And so people needed the training, but needed it delivered in a format that allowed their managers to continue working. On an ongoing basis. So I guess we have that, and then we've just finished. We did a workshop a couple weeks ago that we did a live stream on, and we're working on the recordings, and we'll have some of that available for purchase for group members here in the next few months. And then we look to do one other workshop this year with topic still pending.
Right.
So we're getting some feedback from group members to see what you guys want. Obviously, there's operations stuff. We've talked about a mergers and acquisitions workshop, and so a few things that are out there. So we hope that we are serving you guys well. Like it is our goal. We want to see you succeed, and we are here for you. I can't stress that enough. Right. Anything you need, anything we can help you with, we want to attempt to do that. We want to see you succeed, and that is why we exist. So I hope that's helpful. Jeff, thanks for being a part of doing this, and we'll see you guys later.